And then, all right, we're going to talk about cabinets today. I'm just going to quickly run through this document I created. That this is a resource. I put it in the shared drive under our main Recon shared drive, and there's a training, or I think it's a scoping and estimating folder. Main point is we want to accumulate resources and quick reference guides when you run into a unique issue. So we'll spend just about 5 minutes or so going over this document that people can refer to on your own. And then Ryan can talk about the nuances, tips, and tricks with scoping cabinets, since it's one of our most common products involved in our reconstruction projects. Okay, so just a quick overview here. I'll run through this. I start with kitchen cabinets, cabinet types, cabinet door styles. As I was researching this, I even found 10 additional cabinet door styles that I wasn't aware of. There's a lot of different materials. I put in a number of pictures in here and quick reference links for people to jump into. There's literally 1,000 websites at a minimum on educating on kitchen cabinets, and a whole nother slew of resources and websites on bathroom cabinets, vanities, etc. I go into a little bit here on stain finishes, painted finishes. For those of you who ever ordered custom stain, some of these cabinet staining processes can be 10 coats. I mean, it's crazy how involved getting to a particular color can take. Painted finishes, glazed finishes, hardwares and accessories, hinges and drawer slides, and then organizational accessories. So the number of options within the cabinets these days is really pretty expansive. The pull-out shelves and soft closes and spice racks, etc. I know that I've run into homeowners who get all starry-eyed about wanting all these upgrades and add-ons, and when we're replacing cabinets, and we got to keep them in a neat little box unless they're willing to pay out of pocket. So y'all can scan through this. I'll share the link in the chat here as well. Bathroom cabinets, quick overview, the vanities and medicine cabinets, wall mounts, bases, tower cabinets, lots of different door styles even yet for bathroom cabinets. Just a couple of quick links that you can dive into and get much, much more detail. I put some pictures for a quick reference on cabinet door styles, MDF door styles. Again, many, many, many different variations. Scrolling through here. When you get into the different wood types as well, you'll find brand names and unique variations for the different manufacturers. But when you're looking and trying to hunt and find something to match an existing, I highly recommend you use the feature in your smartphones where you take a photo, and then I know on my Samsung phone you long press the home button and it gives you that AI image search. So if you're not sure what you're looking at, take a photo, long press the home button, and you'll get an AI image search, and it'll give you a whole bunch of web links to what it is that you're looking at. Super helpful. Again, so that's about it for the quick overview. Again, I'll share the link to where this exists in our main training resource guide, and then let's talk about some of the things for all of you to be thoughtful about, and the nuances around how to make sure we scope correctly when we're going to be replacing cabinets. So Ryan, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, guys, there's, just like everything that we've been talking about, there's a lot that goes into to the cabinetry line items. first and foremost, I think one of the biggest mistakes that I see when it comes to cabinets is from the estimating position is it actually an average grade or just something that we can get off the shelf, or are we having to custom order it? And that's something to really think about. If you can go to Home Depot and pick up that cabinet, that's probably an average grade or a high grade cabinet, right? If you have to go to a cabinet company and it has to get made, that is a custom cabinet. And I will tell you guys, it costs more to put in custom cabinets. I generally like to look at Matterport. I can generally look at something and say, can I get this from Home Depot? Can I get this from Lowe's off the shelf? And if I can't, that's a custom cabinet. There are also custom cabinets, guys, that you can get at Home Depot and Lowe's, but you have to special order them. A good example of this, and I'm not sure if everybody on this call will know this or not, but if you go into like an apartment complex that is maybe a little bit newer, they kind of have those flat surface upper and lower cabinets. They're real slick, kind of modern looking. Those are pretty, you would think they're custom order actually. So they're a custom cabinet. They may not be super expensive, but they're custom cabinets. So we need to make sure that we're putting that type of stuff in there. So again, just like anything else that we talk about, what are we dealing with cabinets? Does anybody not know what an appliance garage is?
Go ahead and explain it.
Yep. I'm going to look up a picture first. So appliance garage. Okay. This is an appliance garage. These little pieces right here are appliance garages. Yeah, if you run into that, that's a separate line item in exact. Do you have crown? Is it a 2-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece, or 5-piece crown? So as you're looking at, just like we talked about drywall last week, as you're looking at this stuff, you really have to think about what all does this cabinet have? Does it have crown? Is there a lazy Susan? What kind of drawers? Do I need to get hinges? Or do they come with the hinges? Am I just replacing a door and hinges? What kind of knobs or poles am I dealing with? Are they high grade or average grade poles? I will tell you, that is another major line item that a lot of restoration companies miss. They end up going and spending money on poles, but they don't charge for it. Not included. That's a separate charge to have those knobs and poles.
Let me interrupt.
What kind of countertop? Yeah.
Those pulls could vary from $3 to $150.
Yep.
And depending on like the picture he's got up there, it's harder to install those handles than it is a knob, because you got to get it level and all that stuff, and plumb or whatever. So it's more difficult
all the way through every
install.
cabinet. So yeah, 100%. Yeah, hit the nail on the head there, Alan. You know, one of the things that I do, guys, is when I'm going through this stuff with you guys, I actually pull up these categories, and this is just cabinets. Look at all the line items that are in cabinet. These are all the things that you can make money for. We just talked about crown, butcher block, concrete, adding a concrete edge. There's even to add a laminate countertop edge. Are we dealing with a sub deck? So that would be something for a concrete or a tile countertop. You'd have to have a sub deck. It's got to have something to put it on. Kind of backsplash am I dealing with? What kind of granite edge am I dealing with? Is it just a basic edge, or do they have like a tier system? All of those matter to the charge. Because if I wanted to go a higher grade edge treatment, I can. While the picture doesn't show it, you guys know, and your countertop people will tell you if that's an expensive edge. Now, bear in mind the customer is owed for pre-loss condition, so insurance would owe for whatever edge they currently have. If they wanted to upgrade the edge, that would be something that they would have to pay for out of pocket. Are we dealing with an undermount sink? That means that the edge of that granite or whatever that hard surface countertop is being buffed out, and it's not a rough edge. Those $240 for a single, $360, whatever price list I'm in right now, for a double sink. What else we got in here? Here's some custom base cabinet. Okay, you have custom base, you have high grade, premium grade, deluxe grade. Per linear foot, it's $1,000 for whatever price list this is per linear foot. The average kitchen is 15 linear feet. Just for those cabinets alone for a deluxe grade would be $16,000 in Exactmate for whatever price list this is.
So Ryan,
So
how would
again,
we,
yeah.
how would we decide between those different grades that you just mentioned? Should we always err on the side of higher, or what are some criteria to differentiate?
Yes. I always err on the high side rather than the low side. Okay. Sometimes this comes with experience, guys, but as you talk to your cabinet companies and you see the pricing, start mentally thinking about that when you're going into these homes. I've seen a cabinet that looks like this. The last time it was $360 a linear foot, or $360 for the cabinet. Okay. That'll help you guys. Another one, and I'm not sure, they used to have it. I'm not sure if they have them anymore. Yep. Well, that's a built-in ironing board. Built-in cabinets is another thing. I put those as custom cabinets every day of the week. I can't remember who I was speaking with last week talking about cabinets, but he brought up, he was in this house. The homeowner was saying that they're kind of pricey cabinets, but they look dated. 100% they were dated. But to build that on site, that is another level of craftsmanship that we don't see today. That is a custom cabinet. Those things take a long time to put in place because you're talking about cutting proper sizes, all the different cuts that you have to do. So just something to think about there. And guys, if you ever have questions, take pictures and send them to me. I will certainly try and help you. Google Image is another great way of doing that. We'll talk about more of this. I can't remember when we have it scheduled, but we're going to be talking about direct supplier with you guys. There's some good stuff that comes out of direct supplier to help us with that. Filler boards. Again, another major item that people miss when you're doing cabinets. Cabinets generally come in like divisions of 3. So it's a 12-inch, a 15-inch, 18-inch, 21-inch, 24-inch, 27-inch, 30-inch, 33, 36, 39, 42, so on and so forth. So again, custom cabinets might come in a different size, but there might be filler boards that you guys need to look at when you're looking at those cabinets. You'd see a block, a filler board, scribe along the edge. All of those things matter in putting in cabinets. We have a galley rail. You might not run into a lot of those, but display cabinets with glass. Okay, there's also fillers for glass. For you might have a high grade or a deluxe grade or some sort of custom cabinet where it's not a wood cabinet. There's actually a glass filler in it. We can add that into this. Kind of hinges. Do we have concealed hinges? Do we have surface mount hinges? What kind of knobs and pulls? Lazy Susan. Here's another big one that people miss is end panels. Cabinets come unfinished on the sides and the back. So if you're doing something where the end panel is showing, we got to put an end panel in there. Another big one is appliance panels. This would be something for your refrigerators that go down the wall. How many square feet of that do we have? Okay. Cabinet balances, bathroom wall cabinets, vanities. Keep in mind, guys, vanities or bathrooms, lower cabinets or custom cabinets, things like that. Not that we can't do custom vanity cabinets, you can, but try and keep your terminology for your customer, for your adjuster, for yourself, The same. Vanities go in bathrooms. Lower cabinets, upper cabinets go into kitchens, bars, basically areas outside of bathrooms, right? But what we're trying to get to through any of these trainings, guys, is the details matter. Okay. Better to give me more detail than less detail. If there's something that you're looking at on that cabinet and you're like, man, that looks like it would take a little bit more time, that might be a high grade or a premium grade cabinet. This might be something that's in addition to a cabinet. Add it to the scope. Write it down. Give it a note. Okay. So just real quick to recap on this, the biggest misses in cabinets are usually the knobs and pulls, the filler board, the appliance panels, and then the type of, like, are we adding a lazy Susan? Is it a cabinet drawer front? You know, the doors, different things like that. If we have to just replace doors, not the entire cabinet.
Ryan,
Items like that. Yeah.
I want to call on Linda real quick. Linda has
Please.
resource locally in Las Vegas that can essentially mill and create any cabinet door style and color match. Linda, do you want to just quickly talk about that? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
They're actually located in Chico. They have a website that you enter the exact sizes that you need, height and width of doors. They have a variety of selections with different profiles and finishes that they can fabricate for us.
And what was the name of that company?
Fast Cabinet Doors.
All right, we'll put that in the resource document as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Great.
they do drawer boxes, drawer fronts, cabinet doors. I think there's other like hardware stuff that they sell.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Alan, you have an affiliation with a distributor that's based in, I think you said Georgia or Florida.
Savannah, yeah.
Savannah.
Yeah, they can get their RTAs ready to assemble. They can typically get them out, I would say, out there 3 to 5 days.
Okay. They'll ship unassembled, so they'll just be in boxes, right?
Yeah, so if you got a decent sized kitchen, it'd probably be 2 pallets. So the shipping's not too terrible.
Okay.
The only thing with doing it that way, you just got to be careful and make sure that you order what you need. If not, then you're gonna be waiting, a couple of days. It's not like you can run around the corner and pick up a piece of crown if it got cut wrong.
Right. Okay, that's helpful. So we'll put the contact info. Linda also has a distributor relationship with a Central Cabinets Direct in Las Vegas. So they have a very good discount rate. So for anybody out west there, they'll ship. And I put the contact information for our account rep, Mike, here in Madrid, in that resource document as well. Okay, Ryan, other common challenges, issues with either kitchen or bathroom cabinets? I feel like we should probably do countertops a whole separate time.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into this stuff because it's, I'm trying to keep it to the subject at hand, which right now is cabinets. But I can't reiterate this stuff enough. When you're looking at something, you really got to think about what it is you're doing. Practice makes perfect. As you do this more often, it's just going to come natural. Because eventually, when we're talking about kitchens and bathrooms, it's not just cabinets, right? It's sinks, P-traps, appliances, supply lines, angle stops. The list goes on. Sink sprayers. All of that stuff matters when you're looking at this stuff. So I'm trying to keep this stuff Um, on topic. So I think I've hit everything when it comes to the cabinets themselves, but
Okay.
so
So
more to come.
do you want to do is it supplier direct or direct supplier? I can't remember, even though the training was
Direct supplier.
direct
yeah.
supplier. Do you want to do that next week, excuse me? Or 2 weeks? We need a little more time to bake that.
Okay. You had the intro to Home Depot Pro account tomorrow. Okay, we must be meeting with Home Depot. Yeah, totally fine. I mean, it's kind of hard to share until we kind of do our first project.
Okay. Then let's wait.
As far as like what they showed us yesterday, Matt. But yeah, I mean, I think what we should do, Matt, is when we get a project that we can throw through direct supplier and test it out, that we do that first, and then that way we can show people how to access the system.
Yeah.
Would we be able to get a printout of the cabinet line items in Xactimate? Yeah, I can give you a printout of whatever you want.
Great. Okay, that's a good follow-up. Okay, so we'll do countertops next week. I'm creating a schedule, so I'll share the schedule with everybody. We'll do direct supplier in a couple weeks. And just as a preview to everyone, Xactimate has created a product called Direct Supplier that lets you take an estimate and essentially connect to a number of large suppliers like Home Depot and Lowe's and others, and purchase your materials in one step. From estimate to purchasing obviously could save a lot of time. So we got a demo of that yesterday. We'll do some practice, we'll pilot it, and then roll it out when we're ready. Pretty interesting and compelling to be able to do that. So more to come on that. That's exciting. We just got a couple minutes left. Alan or anyone else want to share any previous gotchas with your jobs with kitchen or bathroom cabinets?
Yeah, if you're not used to laying them out, make sure you pay attention to the fillers, especially when you have these overlay drawers and when you have a thicker casing. If you don't have a 2-inch filler, those drawers are going to hit the casing on the door in a bathroom where it usually happens. And make sure you have the electrical pulled through for the dishwashers and the garbage disposals. Any kind of, when you're ordering any kind of skin panel that you need for the back of an island that doesn't have a knee wall. So there's a lot of little things that everybody will pick up on as you go along.
And highly recommend partnering with a cabinet supplier that will create the layout for you. That way they'll give you'll have part numbers associated with an elevation view that your homeowner can sign off on. I know a local Denver-based one, Highlands Cabinetry, will create those for you as part of what they offer. I think it's just a lot easier to avoid buyer's remorse from homeowners if you have the layout in writing. Go ahead, Linda. Share your thought live.
Well, I know Xactimate takes linear footage measurements, but for like our purposes in estimating or gathering the sizes of the cabinets that we need, it's better to measure in inches, your wall space and your cabinets, because
one other point to that, guys, is the way cabinets are measured are on the face. Now you need to be careful if it goes into a corner and it actually goes back into the corner of it. But it's usually measured on the face of the cabinet. And then countertops are measured from the back of the wall because it'll go from all the way to the corner. And is there a miter joint in there? Yeah. So if I need to show that, I can.
Sure. I think that's pretty important, measuring correctly.
So I'm just going to use a quick sketch here. And I have a PDF. Do you guys have like a all Recon channel, Matt, that you can invite me to that I can drop this PDF in?
For sure.
The other thing while you're doing that, Ryan, another thing everybody needs to remember is when you're going up against the toilet, there's a minimum of 15 inches from the center of the toilet to the cabinet. I usually go 18 just to, make sure we're good, and with the overhang on the countertop. Excuse me.
Yep. And when we do countertops, we always do 2 foot 2 inches, by the way, not 2 feet, because the top of the countertop is 2 feet. You see that I put this in at 110. That's because there's a toe kick, and I want to make sure you have enough space for your floors. So if you were to measure the countertops on this, and I just kept this really simple. Okay, the cabinet would be 6 and 6, so 12 feet. Now, obviously, again, if you had to go to the corner here, this cabinet actually goes to the back. You'd want to make sure that the adjuster knows that, take pictures, because then this would be 8 feet and 6 feet, right? Now, for the countertop, you would measure from the back of the wall to the corner to this other corner. So cabinets are the face, countertops is the back. Does that make sense? Now, solid surface is done by square footage. Laminate post form is done by linear footage.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I think we're right about at time, so it's a good stopping time. So we'll do countertops next week, and Ryan, I'll sync with you ahead of time so we can get aligned beforehand. Thanks everyone for joining. Appreciate your time. Have a great day. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Thank you. Bye.